bit difficult. That is reported speech. And today we will be covering only reported speech part 1, because this is such a vast topic. It always takes generally 2 sections to be covered. Today we will cover the surface, and if the luck and chance permits, we will surely go in depth. So beginning with, first, can someone from audience tell me what do you understand when you hear the term speech, other than 5 to 7 minutes pathways? So what do you understand when you hear the term speech?
Something that is spoken.
Something that is spoken, okay.
It's not merely a spoken, it is the view which you are sharing with the audience, where you are delivering the thoughts in the shape of the words, so that the message can deliver to the audience and they can grab or learn something from the speaker.
Okay.
That is in my view.
And yeah, everyone has their own view and understanding of the term speeches. But for me, yes, someone was saying something.
Dialogue delivery.
Dialogue delivery. For me, and as ma'am said previously, speeches is something that is spoken. But there are some terms and conditions applicable to set that something spoken as a reported speech, right? The term reported means something to be noted, which has been communicated via something, has been documented through something, has given you information about something. So reported basically means a whole system or a data of information which is passed on by someone to someone, or from something to something. So reported speeches are basically the documented form, may it be in verbal or non-verbal format, of something which is spoken. If anyone has any query, they can interrupt me in between. And as I can only see 4 windows in my screen because of the shared screen, so I would request, whenever someone is giving an answer to any query, please do tell your name. So, moving on. Okay. So, as we can see, reported speeches don't have any fixed definition, but they have 2 fixed classifications. One being the direct speeches, the second being the indirect speeches. As you can see in the screen, the first one is, he said to me, I am too ill to speak now. And the second one is, he told me that he was too ill to speak then. I have mentioned in the screen, one is direct speech, one is indirect speech. But can anyone tell me what is the difference? Why is the first one a direct speech and the second one an indirect speech?
May I tell?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Direct speech is when there is a dialogue here, and when it's converted into an information, then it's become indirect speech. Suppose you said something to me and I am conveying your matter to someone else, then it will become an information and it will be changing into indirect speech. It means spoken is not face to face, but is told indirectly. It's not direct, but it's being told indirectly. I think I'm clear to you.
Yes. So in the first case, he can be anyone. If you want, you can name that character. Okay. He said to me means we both are having direct conversations like we are having now. I am speaking directly to you all, and whoever will see the video will receive the indirect format. So currently we are having a direct conversation. I am speaking to you. Same way he spoke to me, right? He said to me that he is too ill. When I'm saying it, that he was too ill to speak to me at that moment of time when I was trying to talk to him. At that particular moment of time, he was too ill to talk to me. That's why he told me that he was too ill to speak then. But when I had tried talking to him at that particular moment, at that present moment, he directly said that I am too ill to speak now. So direct conversation can be between 2 or 3 people, but on that particular moment, all of them should be present and face-to-face conversation takes place. It can be in form of dialogues or discussions. That's a different issue. But when it comes to indirect speech, someone from that discussion goes to someone else and conveys the message. Okay. Here, said to is converted to told. Said to can be written as told, or you can continue to write said to. He said to me that he was too ill to speak then. So let's see, how do we identify what's direct, what's indirect, and what difference they make when we are converting direct speeches to indirect speeches. Hopefully the table is visible to everyone. The first column is about the types of speeches. The second column says the principal clause, means the form on which the whole thing depends, the subjects. Okay. Next are the punctuations which we use basically in the sentences to identify if they are direct or indirect, or what can be used to make them a reported speech. Next is the subordinate clause, that is the part which is in the inverted commas, inverted quotations, and it has 3 parts. The subordinate clause has 3 parts. That is, one is pronoun, the second one is tense, and the third one is the word of time, place, or demonstration. So as we have seen in the previous example, which we were going through, the principal clause is he said or he said to me, whichever is there. Okay, in the previous example, if I had written he said, then also it would have been a justified question. So he said or he said to me, and then a punctuation mark is used, which is a comma with inverted quotes, right? I is the person, that is the pronoun used. Am is the form of tense, which is telling us that the thing is happening in the present tense. Too ill to speak now is the word of time, which is telling us that particular moment. Whereas when we are converting it, as said in the table, he said to me, or he told me, anything is right. Okay. No commas are used, but the principal clause and the subordinate clause means the subject part and the whole thing gets connected or gets combined with the help of a conjunction like that. Or sometimes the conjunctions are also not used. We can directly combine them. In the second case, the pronoun was he. The verb was, okay, because when I am reporting it, the moment has already passed. And I am telling that he, whoever the subject was, told me, okay. So he told me in the past, he was too ill to speak then. When I had visited him or when I was trying to speak to him, he was too ill to talk. Here, The words such as said to me, told are the words which we call as reporting verbs. These verbs are used when we are reporting or documenting the data, the information, or the spoken word of someone or ourselves. Am I clear? If anyone has any query, please feel free to interrupt. Because if we will miss a single bit in the beginning, it will become very difficult to connect in the upcoming sections. And if you want, I would always suggest you to have notes, because that will help you refer them in the upcoming slides and have a better understanding of what we are discussing. So should we move forward? Okay. So first, we will understand what are the rules to change the pronouns from a direct speech, means from a sentence which is directly spoken, to a sentence which is indirectly being spoken. So here, how pronouns take a new form. As you can see, we have three tables. The first one is a direct speech example. The second one is telling us the conversions. And the third one is telling us what will happen when they are in an indirect form. But before we have a discussion on this, I would request someone to tell me what is first person pronoun, what is the second person pronoun, and what is the third person pronoun. Let's have a quick brush up. Someone other than Veena ma'am, because I know she knows the answer. Trilochan sir, Rachna ma'am, and I cannot see anyone else on the screen. Vivek, I can see Vivek on the screen. Please, someone, can anyone tell me what is first person pronoun, what is second person pronoun, what is third person pronoun?
Okay, first person, I, you.
Yes. No, you is not a first
No,
person pronoun.
okay, you is third person.
You is second person.
Second. There's always a confusion in this.
Okay, let
Okay,
me.
third person, he, she,
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay. Second person is you, and they.
No, they is always
is
third
also
person.
third person. They, we.
Me is first person.
First person. Oh God.
Can I tell you?
I'm confused.
Yes, ma'am.
We, first person. You,
Yes.
second person.
Yes.
He, she, it, they, third person.
Yes.
Mm.
So all the pronouns. Okay, let me just give a summary again. When you are saying first person, that is I, me, us, we, our, me, myself. Myself is no more existing, so don't consider it. Mine. These are first person, because when two people are talking, you consider yourself to be the first person, and the person who is there with you is the second person. For that person, he is the first person and you are the second person. So what are the words in the second person? You, your. And what are the words in the third person? He, she, they, them, it are the words him, her, his, her. All those words which you use in pronouns will fall under third person. So here, the rules for all the first person to the second person conversion, first person to the third person conversion, second person to the third person conversion, second person to the first person conversion, third person to the third person conversion will remain same. Three rules, because there are three persons. First person changes to first person and first person changes to second person and third person. Second person changes to first person and third person, and the third person remains to be third person. So as we can see in the first example, you say to me, I am busy. So here, when we will change the pronoun, I will become you, because you are saying to me that you are busy. I am busy. You gave this statement, I am busy. So when I will report this to someone else, what will I say? You tell me that you are busy. If I will report it to you later sometime in the day, I will say this only. We did not do this work because you said that you were busy. Then, all right. Hope I am clear. Moving on to the next example. You say to me,
Okay.
you are busy. Okay, someone had some query?
Yeah, I just wanted to know why will say not change to said?
No, because here we will discuss that when we will discuss change of tense.
May I tell you, if you allow?
Yes, ma'am, you can answer the query. Sure.
No, I shouldn't interrupt, but I want to say still.
Yeah,
If-
please.
If the reporting verb is in past tense, then the reported speech will change in the past tense. But if the reporting verb is in the present tense, suppose I say is the present tense. So the reported speech will also remain the same. It will remain in the same tense only, it will not change. It
Yes.
will change if the reporting verb is in the past tense. Otherwise, the tense of the reported speech will also remain in the same tense.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
This is the
Yes,
Okay.
we will discuss this
Okay,
in
that was
details
the
when we
tenses.
will be.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you basically the question was on pronouns.
pronouns. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I
No
barged in
worries.
with a
It's
different
okay.
question.
No worries. No worries. It's good that we are having an interactive session.
Okay,
So
thank
the
you.
second one, you say to me, you are busy, means I'm telling someone that you are busy. For example, I'm telling Rachna ma'am, you are busy. So I'm making a direct statement to ma'am in front of her. We both are just talking. She is the first person, I am the second person, but for me, she is the second person and I am the first person. So I'm directly telling her that you are busy. So in that case, when we will change to indirect, I can say, you tell me that I am busy. So when Rachna ma'am later tells me the same statement, then she can say that Akshata, you told me, or you tell me, even if she is repeating the same statement 2 minutes later, that will be considered in the present tense. You tell me that I am busy. Okay. So here in both the cases, in the first case, I, which was the first person, got converted to the second person. But in the second example, the second person got converted to the first person. And let's see the third one. Then I will tell you how simple they are following the rules. The third one says, you say to me, he is busy. Means you are telling me that XYZ person is busy. Suppose Veena ma'am says to Akshata that Rachna ma'am is busy. So it will get converted in this way. You tell me that he was busy. So I can say this to Veena ma'am later that Veena ma'am, tell me that Rachna ma'am was busy. Right? See, all the examples are in he, I know, but I'm giving the feminine names. So you can simply assume that they become she.
Okay, good
Please don't get
assumption.
confused.
Okay.
Okay. So see, what are the three rules being used here in three different conversions? In the first one, when the first person is getting converted to the second person, it is dependent on the subject. Means I to get converted to you is dependent on the subject, on the principal clause. That is, you say. I will get converted to you because I is assuming itself to become a second person when the speech is being reported, because it was being informed already in the conversation by the second person. Whereas in the second case, you is converting to I because you is dependent on the object, not the subject. You is assuming itself to become the first person because the second person is reporting this, is giving the speech in the second person format, right? And in the third case, the third persons don't get converted and they remain to be third person because they are not dependent on the object, they are not dependent on the subject, they are independent. See, if we will go through some more examples, the rules will get clear. The rules generally confuse, that's why I have not written the rules but have written the conversions. The fourth one, he says to me, I am tired. He tells me, I am tired. Is it right or wrong? Okay, I said the wrong sentence. He tells me that he is tired. He was tired, because here I, who is the first person, will get converted to the third person because we both were talking, he and I. Now I come to someone, or I come to someone and I am reporting this to someone saying that he tells me that he is tired. Sorry, he was tired. Same way. Sorry. He is tired. And I beg my pardon. Because the tense is in present. Yeah. He tells me that he is tired. If we go with the name's sake, Veena ma'am and I had a conversation where Veena ma'am said that she is tired. So Veena ma'am directly said, Akshita, I am tired. Now I come to the class and report that Veena ma'am tells me that she is tired. So the first person, who was Veena ma'am herself in our conversation, became the third person because for the class she is not present and she is an unknown identity. Same way in the fourth case. In the fifth case, he says to me, you are tired. So we both were having conversation and the person feels that I am tired. So he says me that I am tired. In our conversation, I am the second person for him and he is the first person for himself. But for me, he is the second person and the first person. And when I am coming to the class and reporting this, that XYZ person, he tells me that I am tired. So again, if we take the same example, let's go with Vivek. Vivek and I had a conversation where Vivek felt that I am tired and he said, Akshita, you are tired. I come to the class, Vivek being absent, I decide to mock him and say that, Vivek told me, Vivek is telling me, Vivek tells me whatever that particular moment is, Vivek tells me that I am tired, which I am not. So here, the second person gets converted to the first person because I make myself the first person and make the class the second person and Vivek the third person. So the next one, he says to me, he is tired, which will get converted to, he tells me that he is tired. So Vivek and I had a conversation again, and Vivek said that Akshita, I am tired. but I just kept it between him and me. I come and have a conversation with Trilochan sir and say that Vivek says Vivek is tired. Now Trilochan sir comes to the class and says that Akshita says that Vivek is tired. So the third person remains to be the third person. Or Trilochan sir can also say Vivek says that Vivek is tired. He just avoids or ignores me, or he cuts me off from the middle conversation. So that is a way in which we can make the third person to be the third person. Okay. Moving on to the next one. I said to him, I don't believe you. I am telling someone that I don't believe you. We both are having a discussion. I directly told the person that I don't believe you. So when we will convert them in indirect, in case of pronouns, pronouns will very simply change that I said, I said, I don't believe him or her, whoever the person was I was talking to. So here you, or I can simply keep it in the second person also. I told him or I told you, I don't believe you. I told that I don't believe you. I was having a conversation with someone. I'm coming and reporting it. The person simply asked me the question, what did you say there? So I said, I don't believe you. So we can keep the second person as a second person because here a small trick and an exceptional rule applies in case of pronouns. You sometimes, rarely, becomes the third person party also when the person we are talking about is known to both the first and the second person. I can understand this is a bit confusing. Let me name the characters. Suppose I and Rudransh had a conversation where I say, Rudransh, that I don't believe you. Now I come to the class and we are having a discussion where everyone asks me, then what did you tell to Rudransh when he asked you to believe him? So I simply say, I said, I don't believe Rudransh. And I'm saying this in front of all of you because all of you know who Rudransh is. Let's assume all of you know who Rudransh is. I know who Rudransh is. So in this case, you acts as the third person party and is known to both the first person and the second person. Hope I am making some sense and the concepts are being clear to you. But please feel free to ask if you have anything.
I have a question,
Yes, please.
Akshata. So, in the very beginning, you said that the tense don't change, but in the last two examples, the tense changed to I
No,
said.
yeah, because I have made the reporting verb as said. I am saying the sentence and said, so they are changing the tense.
Okay.
Yeah, when we will discuss the tense part, you will understand this concept better. Okay, moving on to, I said to you, I don't, okay, we did this. No, okay, this one is pending. I said to you, I don't believe you. Here, the you again remains to be you. Oh, sorry, we did this one first and the seventh number question, I skipped the seventh number question. Let's do the seventh one. I beg my pardon. I said to him, I don't believe you. In this case, you is changing to the third person because I am directly talking to someone and telling that person that I said this statement to someone else. So suppose we are having a conversation where I and Veena ma'am are talking, and I am telling Veena ma'am that I said Vivek that I don't believe him. So this is a conversation between me and Veena ma'am where I am becoming the first person. Veena ma'am is the second person who is listening to what I am saying, and we are having a conversation about the third person, which is Vivek. So when we will convert this direct speech to indirect speech, it will be something like this. I said, I don't believe him. I need not repeat the words to him again. So I can directly say this. I said, I don't believe him. So when I have a conversation with Vivek, I come to Rachna ma'am or Veena ma'am and they ask me, what did you say? So I said, I don't believe him. So I don't believe Vivek. I said, I don't believe Vivek. So that's a indirect reporting of what I had a conversation previously with someone, right? Now, if you have any queries for all the conversions of how the first person gets converted to second and third, the second one gets converted to first and the third one remains to be third, you can ask me. Or we will move on. Are we sorted here?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is change of tense, which I have received 2 constant queries in the pronouns part. So we will discuss this in details, and I request you all to have 100% interaction and interest in this part, because tense is something that makes the structure of the whole reported speech. Okay, so here is the first one. I request everyone to mute themselves, but they can keep their videos on. When you have any query or if you are answering anything, please unmute and feel free to be on unmute. Okay. Tense have one very basic and simple rule. That is, the tense of the whole subordinate clause means the past, which is in the inverted comma, will change according to the tense of the reporting verb. The only basic simple rule. Okay. So if the reporting verb is in present tense, the sentence will remain in present tense. If the reporting verb is in past tense, the sentence will change itself to past tense. If the reporting verb is in past continuous, the sentence will change to past continuous, present continuous, depending on what the reporting verb is. So depending on the reporting verb, the sentence means the subordinate clause part of the whole reported speech will change itself. Okay, as we can see in the first example. The first example says, he said, I like eating pizza. In this case, the principal clause is he said, where the reporting verb is said, which is in past tense. Please have this in mind very clearly, that the reporting verb in this sentence is in past tense, said. The subordinate clause part of this speech is I like eating pizza, where the tense, the subordinate clause tense is like, which is in simple present. So we have 2 tense, one in the principal clause with the reporting verb, which is said, and the second is in the subordinate clause, which is telling us when this conversation is happening, which is in simple present. So now when we will convert this direct speech to the indirect speech, we will focus on this. So basing on the reporting verb, which is in simple past, so the during the conversion, the subordinate clause tense, which was in simple present, will get converted to simple past. So the sentence conversion will be, he said that he liked eating pizza. Now, if anyone has this query in their mind that like and eating becomes the continuous past, no. Here, eating is not the main verb. It is not describing the action. Like is describing the action, that is having a fondness, having an inclination towards the habit of consuming pizzas. That's why like becomes the simple present and the main verb of the subordinate clause. Hope I'm clear, and we can move on to the next one. The next one is present continuous tense. And as we can see in the example, he said, I am writing a letter. So in this case, again, two parts, principal clause, where the reporting verb is in simple past, which is said, and the subordinate clause, which has the verb as am writing in present continuous. So when we will get converted from direct to indirect speech, the reporting verb being in past will change the subordinate clause to past continuous. So the sentence will become, he said that he was writing a letter. Okay. So in the next one, present perfect tense, he said, I have passed the examination. Again, said in the principal clause is in past. Have written is in present perfect. Okay, before we move on to what the conversion will be, can anyone tell me how do you differentiate the tense to be a present perfect tense or a past perfect tense? See, this is very important for us to have brush ups at times, or else the things will not fall in place. So how do you identify the tense of a sentence to be past perfect or present perfect?
We should respond.
I cannot hear you. Someone was speaking something. Anyone, please.
So, according to what I understand,
May I know your name?
Aisha.
Okay, yes, Aisha, continue.
So, in this example, the status does not change whether it's in present perfect or
No. I am not asking you about this example. I am simply asking you, how will you identify in a general sentence that the tense of that sentence is in past perfect or in present perfect?
May I say?
Let me, yes, ma'am, please.
In present perfect tense, we use has or have plus
Yes.
plus the third form of verb. Suppose, as I say,
Participle form of verb.
or she has gone.
Yeah.
She has gone to temple. But when we change it into past perfect, then has or have will change into had. This is a simple thing. He had written a letter, or I had gone to temple. Whatever it was, it means has or have will change into had. This is the simplest thing that it should be.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Veena,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry to interrupt, but I
So,
can't resist myself.
no, thank you so much for the answer. So, please, everyone, do remember this very simple trick in a sentence when the words like have or has are used with the participle form of the verb. It is in present perfect tense. When the word had is used in the sentence with the participle form of the verb, then it is in the past perfect tense. So here, as we can see in the example, he said, I have passed the examination. Have plus pass is the main verb which is in the participle form to make past. Have plus past. So present perfect tense. Again, principal clause with the reporting verb in the past, that is said. The subordinate clause have passed in the present perfect tense. When will convert from direct to indirect will become past perfect tense. So how we can convert is, he said that he had passed the examination. Okay. So moving on to the next one, present perfect continuous. Again, as for the present perfect, we use have plus participle form of the verb. Here what we do is have or has anything plus been, B-double-E-N, been, plus verb in the ing form. That is have plus been plus say writing, have been writing, has been writing. So they make it a present perfect continuous. And for past, had plus been plus ing form of verb, had been writing. Right? So as we can see in the example, he said, I have been swimming. I have been swimming since I was 10. Since I was 10. So again, the principal clause with past reporting verb, the subordinate clause have been swimming, which is in present perfect continuous. So when they will get converted from direct to indirect, the things will become, he said that he had been swimming since he was 10. As we discussed in the pronoun part, right? Am I clear till this in case of tense?
Yes.
Great. So let's move on. So now we will play along with the past tense. Again, I know past tense is also of 4 types, but reported speech believe they are of 3 types because the 4th type is the way of conversion. Okay. So let's see. The first one is simple past. He said, I wrote a letter. When the principal clause has the reporting verb in past tense and the subordinate clause also has the verb in the past tense, which is wrote, the simple rule of tense is it will get converted to past perfect. Okay. And how do we convert a sentence to past perfect? We simply add the words had plus participle form of the verb. So how we will convert this? He said that he had written a letter. Fine. Fair. Next one. is the past continuous tense. And the example says, he said it was blowing hard at 6. Yeah. So again, principal clause in past tense, reporting verb because reporting verb is the past tense, and the subordinate clause is in past continuous tense. So when we will convert them, the conversion of past continuous will become past perfect continuous, which is we simply add had plus been plus ing form of verb. So it says he said that it was blowing hard at 6 will get converted to he said that it had been blowing hard at 6. Moving on to past perfect tense. So he said, I had done this before. He said, reporting verb in the principal clause is past. Had done this before, had done. Makes the subordinate clause in past perfect tense. So what will be the conversion? See, this is a small trick. The past perfect tense remains to be past perfect only in case of conversion. So the answer will be, he said that he had done this. Either you can say before, it's always advisable not to change the words when you are reporting them until unless they are words of time, place, or demonstration. So he said that he had done this before. Are we clear till this? Because there are two small exceptions which we will discuss in the next slide. Anyone has any queries, please feel free to ask, or we will move on to the upcoming slides. Okay. Sorry. Here. These are two small notes. I know they look large and jumboed size, but they are very two small and simple notes in which the first one says, if the reporting verb is in simple present or is in future tense, then the tense of the subordinate clause will not change. As we can see in the example, he says, the teacher is not at home. So when we will convert it to indirect, the sentence will be, he says that the teacher is not at home. Irrespective of what the tense is in the subordinate clause, the tense will not change if the reporting verb is in simple present or simple future tense. If I take another example, he will say, comma, inverted commas open, I was out of station, inverted commas close. The sentence will get converted to, he will say that he was out of station. Very simple. This is the first small note in conversion. The second note says, if the reporting verb is in past tense and the subordinate clause has future tense, means the words like will or shall are there, then they will get converted to would or should depending on the subject. So let's have a small brush up here. Can anyone tell me where do you use will and where do you use shall? Means which pronoun, I, me, we, he, she, they, you, which of the pronoun takes will and which of the pronoun takes shall?
I think earlier earlier people used to do shall, but now it mostly will. And whenever we have to ask any question,
No,
then we
no,
can
no,
use
no, 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 no.
fine.
No.
Okay.
Just
So I
but here
have
the very here is a very simple question. Which
okay.
pronoun, first person, second person, and third person, which of these pronouns takes will and which of these takes shall?
I will use the shall.
Yes.
I will use
All
single person. Single person will use shall, and where the plural will be there, it will be applicable for the sake of will. That I think so.
okay, you are partly right and partly wrong. Always remember this, and if you want, please take a note. First person, first person always takes shall. I shall, we shall. Okay. First person always takes shall, whereas the other two, that is the second person and the third person, take will. You will,
We will.
he will, she will, they will. So when we are having this conversion of would and should also, na, the same thing applies. First person will take should, the second person and the third person will take would. Let's see some examples. This will make the concept clear. He said, the man shall come. Okay. Here, the man, I know, must have popped in the head that is the third person, but we are using shall because it's not the third person pronoun. It's a direct person, a direct implication. If the subordinate clause was used as a direct assertive sentence or a direct declarative sentence, the man will become a proper subject. So that's why the man shall come. So he said, the man shall come. When we will convert, see, as the principal clause has a past reporting verb of said, and the subordinate clause has future tense because shall is used, the conversion will have, in place of shall, will have should. So he said that the man should come. In the next example, he said the work will not, am I going the right way? No, I'm sorry. The clerk will not attend the office, right? Here again. So if we have used shall in the first case, why didn't we use the shall in the second case? You can use shall with the clerk also, no problem. You can use will with that man also, no problem, because they are a proper subject. So he said, the clerk will not attend the office. He said, principal clause, reporting verb in past tense. Subordinate clause is in future tense because the word will is used. So while converting, will change into would and the sentence will become, he said that the clerk would not attend the office. Whereas in the third case, he said, I shall not come to the office, or I shall not complain against it, as in the example it says. So here, the first principal clause has reporting verb in the past. The subordinate clause has first person I as the first person pronoun, and the tense is in future, which is shall. So we will apply the rule of the pronoun thing, change of pronoun, which we have discussed previously, and as we are discussing the exception, shall will get converted to will, would, or should, depending on what the subject is. And in this case, it becomes he said that he would not complain against it. The change of pronoun rule. I hope everyone is clear, and if you have any query, please feel free to ask, because after this we will discuss the change of words of place, time, and demonstration.
I have one query.
Yes, please.
So when we say ki, I'll go to my hometown, so if I'm using I will, I'll go to my hometown, that is wrong. We
Yes.
should use I shall.
Yes.
Oh God.
Okay,
Till
I
now I
am
was doing this mistake.
okay. I am just giving you a small clarification here. There is one exceptional rule to I will and I shall, which is when you are sure, that is more than 100% certain, you generally use the word will to express your certainty. That's why people have this tendency to use I will instead of I shall. But if you want to go with proper format of English, it is always advisable to show your certainty with the word shall, not will, in case of first person, which is I or we. So I will has become correct in the colloquial English, which is not very justified.
Okay. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So anyone has any other query? Okay, so let's move on. And please do tell me, I feel that I am going bit fast and fast. If I'm going fast, please let me know. I will go slow and slow. So change of words. Here, the words have three parts. One, words of time, one, words of place, and one, demonstrative words. Generally, people say that adverb of time, adverb of place, demonstrative adverbs. Yes, the examples that we will discuss are all adverbs, but saying them to be adverbs or conversion of adverbs or change of adverbs is not justified, because there may be sentences where you can use the adverbs directly. For example, he said, I am walking slowly. So when you will convert, you will keep the slowly, which is an adverb, as slowly. He said that he was walking slowly. So that's why it's a very wrong tendency to say change of adverbs. No, we are not changing adverbs. We are simply changing words which are denoting time, place, and are demonstrating the verb or helping the verbs to demonstrate itself, though they fall under the category of adverbs. Okay. So as you can see, it's a big table with a long list, and this is only the half a list. We generally develop the practice with practice of which one falls in which place, but this small table will help us reduce our mistakes and learn better. So the first category is words of time. So the words that signify time, like today, tomorrow, yesterday, last year, previous year, before, after. So those are the words which, when get converted from direct to indirect, prefer changing their form. How? Now becomes then, ago becomes before, today becomes that day, tomorrow becomes the next day, the following day, the day after, yesterday becomes the previous day, the day before, last night, last year can change to the previous night, the previous year, the year before, the night before, the next Monday or next week, next month, anything, next year, get changed to the following year, the following Monday, the following week. Okay. People say coming Monday, not right. The following Monday, the coming week, not right. The following week. See, we have developed a tendency of making some small mistakes in colloquial English because they are more comfortable. But we can rectify. So, coming week, coming Sunday, coming Monday, coming year, no. Following week, following Monday, following month, following year is a more justified form. Next, words of place. Here changes to there. Either changes to thither. Herein changes to therein. They're very simple. They don't need much of the explanation, right? Then the demonstrative words such as this becomes that. These becomes those. If you want, you can have a note of this table and we can take a small pause for 2 minutes for you to take a note. And if you want, we can move on. See, moving on, we will be solving some examples and solving some questions. So if till this anyone has any queries, please feel free, because I would love it if all of you have a interactive session when we discuss the exercise questions. Fine. So moving on. So let's solve some questions so that we have a better idea. I have divided the sets into set 1 with 5 questions, set 2 with 5 questions. Set 1 has easier questions than set 2. So I request everyone to unmute themselves, switch on their videos and be a part of it. So here comes the first question. I said, Priya, you must be more serious. Someone please take a shot. Should we go through the whole thing again?
No. Should I tell if nobody is speaking?
Yes, ma'am, please.
I told Priya that she must be more serious.
Okay, I told Priya she must be more serious. Some more answers? Please, yaar. We all are here to learn. If you do mistakes, no worries.
Can I try?
Yes, please.
I told Priya that she should be more serious.
Okay, I told Priya she should be more serious. Someone else? I told Priya that she should be more serious. See, Veena ma'am, your answer was also right. I told Priya she must be more serious, but that is right only in form of colloquial English. Must changes itself to should. When we are changing from direct to indirect, must changes itself to should. Right?
Akshita?
Yes, please.
Kashish this side.
Yes.
Akshita, it's 8:47 already.
Okay. See, we began 15 minutes late, and it will take me 15 minutes more if everyone has a good interaction.
I think you can repeat it at a fast pace if possible.
Oh, for me, it's not an issue. Okay, I will wrap it up.
Okay, thank you.
Fine. So the second one, I saw you at the museum yesterday, the teacher said. Please, guys, as Kashish sir already said, please take your turns fast and give your answers fast so that we can wrap it up fast.
The teacher said that she saw me at the museum yesterday.
Yes. The teacher said, what went wrong? Just a second, my slides are not working. Yeah. The teacher said that he or she, whatever you want to say, had seen me at the museum the previous day. See, in the main clause, see the principal clause, I just placed the principal clause towards the end to make a confusion. The teacher said, the principal clause is the teacher said, and the said being the reporting verb is in the past tense. I saw you at the museum yesterday. Saw is in the past tense. The subordinate clause verb is in the past tense. So simple rule of tense. It will get converted to the past perfect tense. The teacher said that she had seen me at the museum, and again the change of words yesterday will become the previous day. The next one. Anita said to me, I am your sister's classmate. She said, again, reporting verb is in past. Am is the present tense in the subordinate clause.
Amita said that she is
Amita said to me. You cannot avoid to me. Or you can say Amita told me. Okay. If you want to avoid said to, then you can say told. Amita told me that she was my sister's classmate. Next. The professor said to Rahul, see, be very focused on the principal clause has past reporting verb, which is said. Said to Rahul, you are one of my best students.
The professor said to Rahul that he was one of his best students.
Wow, great. You are absolutely right. See, you can say said to, you can say told, both are right. So the professor told Rahul that he was one of his best students. Next one. The owner said to the reporter, the restaurant was inaugurated. I cannot see half of the question because of the video screen. If anyone can see, please read it out.
The owner said to the reporter, the restaurant was inaugurated last year.
Yes. So again, the reporting verb is in past, said. The subordinate clause has simple past, was inaugurated.
So it should be the owner told the reporter that the restaurant has been inaugurated last year.
Yes, the restaurant had been inaugurated last year. See, here we can do one more thing. In case, if you want, you can also use the owner informed the reporter that the restaurant was, sorry, here it should be had been inaugurated the previous year. I have a typo here. I will rectify before forwarding the PPT. The owner told the reporter that the restaurant had been inaugurated the previous year. So here, let's try 5 more as quick as we can. And I would request everyone to please answer and have your interactions. This will help me know if you all are clear with the concept. Sorry. He said, Hari has been appointed the Director General of the Police Force in Mumbai.
He informed that Hari had been appointed the Director General of the Police Force in the Mumbai.
Yes, he informed or he said that Hari had been appointed the Director General of the Police in Mumbai. Next one. He said the evil that the men do lives after them.
He told that the evil that men do lives after them.
Yes. Why didn't you convert lives to past tense?
Because this is an exception.
Yes, this is an exception. Very well said, Aisha. This is an exception when we are having some fact or universal truth in the reported speech, in the direct speech, we don't change their tense. So if the sentence would have been, he said the sun rises in the east, the sentence will get converted to he said that the sun rises in the east because it's an universal fact. Again, Rani said to me, I shall return from Delhi before you leave for Bangalore.
Rani told me that.
Yes, Rani told me that she would return from Delhi before I leave for Bangalore. Only the first verb in the subordinate clause will get changed because that is the main verb. The second verb, which is leave, will not act as the verb or will not act as the main verb, so will not get converted. Moving on to, he said to the painter, you are taking too long to finish the work.
He told the painter that he is taking too long to finish the portrait.
He told the painter that he was taking, see, because the reporting verb is in past tense, so the simple present or the present continuous or present perfect continuous, they all get converted to past. So are taking will get converted to past tense, which is was taking. So he told the painter that he was taking too long to finish the portrait.
So why didn't it get converted? Why didn't it get converted to past perfect? He had been taking too long to finish the portrait.
No. You remember the rules of tense. Present continuous changes to past continuous, but past continuous changes to past perfect continuous.
Okay.
So next one. Rahul told me, I met our yoga teacher yesterday and he promised to visit us today.
This is very confusing.
It's a bit confusing. Yes, the greater the number, the more the difficulty level. So let me answer it. Rahul told me that he met our yoga teacher the previous day and he had promised to visit us that day. Told, the reporting verb is in past. So here, because they are two independent subordinate clauses connected with one conjunction, which is and, here it's a compound sentence. So both the verbs act as the main verb and get converted. So he met our yoga teacher the previous day and he had promised, means the yoga teacher had promised to visit us that day. With this, we come to the end of our concepts and today's session. This was only reported speech part 1. In reported speech part 2, we generally have different types of sentences and how they get converted, how all the different types of sentences have all these rules applicable on them, and what do we do when we have a whole passage to convert from direct speech to an indirect speech. If you need to discuss that session, I would request you all to please have a word with TMCD family and do let them know. And if you have any queries still here, we can have a discussion now, or else we can close the session.
I really loved this session, Akshita.
Thank you.
for sharing your knowledge with us.
You're most welcome. Anyone else has anything to say, add, or has any query? Feel free to ask, or we can just wrap up the session. I mean, my part of the session is over. Other than that, if you have anything to say or ask, please do.
Yeah, hello Akshita. Good
Yes.
evening once again.
Good evening.
I could not follow your entire this thing because I got some calls in between. But I saw your the material and you prepared was excellent. The slides and it was eye-catching, I must say.
Thank you. I guess TMCD has recorded the whole session and the recording will be shared with everyone. You can go through it, and if you have any queries, meanwhile, feel free to ask me. I'm in the TMCD group, or I am also available on WhatsApp.
All right.
So you can approach me there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Are we done?
Looks like only 6 of us are here. Veena, madam.
I don't know. I cannot see anyone in the
Okay, so I'll just yourself, myself, Aisha is there. Veena madam's webcam is on, but she is not there, I think. And Madam Suchitra Mishra and Mr. A. Acharya. So only just 6 of us.
Okay. So who is the host? If no one has anything to say, we can just close the session.
Aisha can try.
Yeah, okay. So I was the co-host. So yeah.
Yeah.
So if I end this meeting, this will end, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This will end for everyone.
Okay then. Thank you,
Thank you.
Akshita. Thank
You're
you.
most welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, stay safe.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.